Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope everyone's doing well. Today, as we were talking about like lost drones and all that sort of thing, where I basically lost my DJI avatar, I've got another one and it's got a tile on it now, so I can easily kind of locate it, or at least make it beep so I can find the damn thing again. It's got me all interested in these little beacons like the Airtags and stuff like that, so I've actually grabbed a little AirTag. Well, I've grabbed a couple of these actually because we're going away soon, and I thought it'd be quite interesting to put them on our luggage. Anyway, I've grabbed an AirTag and I'm sort of playing around with it at the moment just to sort of see. They're so easy to set up. You just literally just pull the tape out like you would anything that runs on a little coin cell type thing, and then it just fires up. And then if you've got an iPhone, obviously I use Android mostly, but I've got an iPhone which I have just so that I can use iOS stuff if there isn't an app available on the iPhone, basically. And I've moved over to Android now anyway. So, but one thing I will say is the setup for these things on Apple devices is always just so seamless. It's just made for idiots. But if you are a techie person, then it's very cool to see how integrated this stuff is and how well it works together. Like on Android with the tile, like you have to download the app, like nothing's automatic. You have to manually do everything. But with the iPhone, yeah, literally it just knows there's an AirTag nearby. You can pair it to your account, everything else. Also, these devices have got a lot more technology than say like the tile that's on there. So this is probably just a straightforward beacon, Bluetooth LE beacon, and these have actually got like their own chip set. I think there's even like an accelerometer in there as well. I don't know, but these things are pretty complicated. I've seen stuff online about people hacking these as well, like taking them apart and putting new firmware and stuff on, which is pretty cool. But anyway, I wanted to show you this, which I've just been messing around with, which is pretty interesting. So outside of the scope of using these things for what they're normally used for, just sticking them on some of your possessions, and if you do happen to lose that thing at any point and it's got the AirTag on it, then basically anyone passing with an iPhone could potentially connect to it and then upload its location off the phone. Now that's a crazy kind of privacy thing to me, but it is what it is, and that is how it's working. But yeah, so the Find Me network is supposed to be pretty cool. Actually, while I say that, the Tile app, I noticed today when I was kind of flicking through it, the Tile app actually shows you how many people are using in your area. It says there, look, 718 Tile members in the circle around you. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, the area, I will say, if I zoom in, I won't show you it again, it's probably like, I don't know what, 5-mile radius all the way around. So 718 Tile members that could potentially walk past your lost tile and pick it up. That's pretty cool. I've seen some videos where like maybe the tile is a lot slower to kind of, if you just chucked it out somewhere, it's a lot slower to pick up or become, active on the network, because obviously there's a lot less people using tile than they would with iPhones. So by default, if you don't even know anything about AirTags and you've got an iPhone, it's gonna pick these up and relay their location. It's crazy what goes on in the background that you don't know about. So anyway, my tile device on my avatar has actually helped me find this already. I did actually crash this into a tree and it kind of went off and ended up in like brambles up to about here, which wasn't fun to get back. But I managed to get it back because I could actually make this thing bleep. Hitting on the app here and making that sound, and of course the drone is off, there's no battery in it or anything, so you're going to hear that if that's stuck in the woods or something like that, and that's what you need. That's the bare minimum I'd say you're going to need on anything DJI really, because they haven't got like a lost model alarm or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, this technology has been around a while. I mean, I haven't really kind of dipped into it as of yet, but what I will say, having a bit of a hacker mentality and being into ham radio and all that sort of stuff, fascinated by these kind of RF devices. I have found an interesting app on Android that can track all of these devices and pick up their signals and kind of show you how far potentially you are away from them. Obviously the built-in apps on iPhone, depending if you've got the latest iPhone, you'll get full functionality showing you exactly. I think it even locates it by augmented reality using the camera, the camera lens. I don't really know how that works because I haven't got a new iPhone, but on the Android app that I've found, Bluetooth LE scan or BLE scanner, it shows you the distance away from the beacon calculated from RSSI signal strength. That's pretty cool. I'll show you more about that later. Meanwhile, what we're going to do, I'm going to cover this in insulation tape and I'm going to test out to see if this gets picked up by anyone else's phone walking past. I'm going to just go and shove this in the woods somewhere, and where there's a lot of dog walkers and people kind of walking past, and we'll see if later on we actually get, you know, we can actually track where this is. Yeah, because I've seen lots of videos and I kind of want to see it for myself. Madness to me that could potentially be tracked worldwide. Yeah, it's crazy. There's no GPS in it. It's just a simple little beacon using the network. It's mind blowing, really, isn't it? So yeah, gonna just cover this up with insulating tape just so the water doesn't get in, and also to disguise it because they're a little bit they stand out quite a bit, don't they, being bright white. So I'm just gonna go around here tightly. This shouldn't affect signal range or strength or anything like that, and then just dump it in the woods and just see what happens. It's a bit like a modern day geocaching. There we go. Right, so I'm in the woods. I'm going to stick it here. You'll notice there's a car park in the background as well for this wood. So I'm literally going to do it here because, yeah, there's going to be more chance because there's more people kind of doing it. I could be waiting forever if I just stick it in the middle of nowhere. Obviously, people aren't going to be walking past it all the time, are they? So I'm just going to test it here, leaving it in this little gap. So I've got my iPhone here. I've got no network coverage on this. I've got it on flight mode, but Bluetooth is on, and you can see my AirTag is with me right now, like my little skull and crossbones AirTag logo. So yeah, it's on right now and it's saying it's with me. Look, I can make it beep. So I can find it once I lose it. So I've also got my Android phone here and I can actually track it on here as well. So you can see, wait for it to kind of beacon up, and you'll see here. So I've put a little star next to it. That's, you can turn that on and off by making it a favourite or not. So you can see I'm a metre away from it there. I think these things have multiple MAC addresses, I'm not sure. But if we flick to raw data, you can see here, you know, it's got a solid signal strength here, and those are its beacons. Each one of those -71s is one of its beacons. So if I start to sort of move away from it, you should see that should start to decrease as the signal from it is going. So higher number obviously meaning lower. And you can see there, yeah, it's dropping. I mean, not as quick as you'd think, considering, you know, I'm actually, you know, steadily walking away from it, and it's, you know, in the woods. So yeah, pretty interesting. So still got a signal from it. So this approximate distance here, that's, you know, I'm a lot further away than that, so that's not very accurate. But you can see it is actually starting to climb up now as it kind of catches up with itself. So yeah, this is getting more like it. If we refresh that, see if we actually get it again. Yeah, it's there. Still saying there, 6 meters away. So yeah, bye bye AirTag. We might never see you again. And yeah, I'm just going to walk away now, and then we'll see later on if we manage to get a location on it, which should be pretty cool. I mean, it's only going to be the location of the phone, so the phone that's picked it up could be miles away, couldn't it? Because we've seen some things on there saying, you know, I'm 7, 10, 15 meters away. So, you know, that area is going to get increasingly big if that AirTag's picked up by a phone that's, you know, quite a way away. And this is actually on an elevated bit as well, so it's going to get, its reception is going to be good because it's going to be like having, you know, the aerial high up. Okay, so I'm back. I've activated lost mode on my iPhone, and we'll see. The last location was saying 33 minutes ago. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Right guys, there's been a development. We've got a location. So it's been picked up. So 11 minutes ago it says, and I've got it on kind of hybrid view now, or satellite view, so I can actually see. So let's try and do this in the camera, but basically look, right, so the thing is, that is the car park there, and the AirTag is somewhere around here, around where the end of my finger is there. So that means someone walking in that sort of perimeter of that blue square there has actually, their iPhone has actually managed to connect to my AirTag. And so that's, you know, this is the thing, look, it's saying the location is all the way up there, but it's not. But yeah, it's not accurate, but it's kind of cool that it has actually kind of connected to it. It just shows you, doesn't it? The range of these things is pretty staggering. And yeah, just to be clear, my AirTag is literally somewhere around there, around where the end of my finger is, in those trees there, right by the edge of the car park. It's not up there, it's not at the top. So yeah, of course, this could be down to the phone's GPS location as well not being accurate. The phone's receiving a GPS signal from satellites, GPS satellites. If it's in a pocket, it's not going to be that great. So it might just be defaulting to like cell, triangulation or something like that. But yeah, if you stuck this on a drone or something and then crashed in that location and someone picks it up from like 400 meters away, it's going to be no use at all. And actually, it's a good job that I remember where it is as well, because if I went by that, I wouldn't find it at all, would I? So something just got me thinking about the security of this sort of stuff, and the possibility that people could be tracked by their MAC address like that potentially. Looking at those Bluetooth LE scanners, you could see the same thing pop up from time to time and know that is a person or a device in an area. Now, that could be potentially not good for security. And I've just looked on Apple's website and it actually says here, so if you scroll down here, Bluetooth low energy privacy. To help secure user privacy, Bluetooth LE includes the following two features: address randomization and cross-transport key derivation. So it seems like when the devices are paired for the first time, some sort of key is exchanged, which then creates, usable MAC addresses or whatever for those devices. So they do change, they will change, and there's no, way of kind of seeing the same MAC address. Like in the old days, it'd have every device would, have a persistent MAC address. But obviously that's changed now. So you haven't got to worry about being tracked by your MAC address on your phone or your computer or your AirTag or whatever you're using. That's good. Just reading a bit more, I think that is actually a standard feature of Bluetooth LE as well, so that makes complete sense. Right guys, it's the next day. So what's happened on the tracking? So overnight, you wouldn't expect much to happen. I got one quite late actually, I think it was about 8 o'clock. And then this morning, we've got a location pinged at 7:36 this morning, so maybe a dog walker out. But what's interesting is, look, the location has actually updated to something a bit more accurate now. So that is definitely the vicinity of that AirTag right there. So yeah, it's now midday. So there's a good kind of 4 or 5 hours since it was last kind of registered on the network by somebody else's phone. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? I mean, that is a car park and it is actually quite near to people, but I presume that if you stuck this in the middle of a city, it'd probably be pinging all the time. But anyway, let's go and retrieve it because I can stick it on something else then. All right, let's find this AirTag then. I can roughly remember where I put it. I'll fire up the iPhone. Right, it's picked it up again. It's picked it up again on the phone. It says with you now. Play sound. So this one doesn't have any sort of like location, like kind of telling you how far away you are from it. That's weird. It's saying not reachable. Okay. Maybe it was a bit further over. It might have been a bit further over here. Right, it's activated now. There it is. It's not very loud. Maybe it's because it's covered in insulation tape. There we go. It's a bit wet on the outside, but you can see from here, look, I mean, there's the car park down there, so it's not like super near. So I've just taken the insulation tape. Look, it's a lot louder when it's actually not covered in tape. Right, something else that I've noticed, got my AirTag here. If you actually go and turn Bluetooth off, so Bluetooth's off here and I'm actually in flight mode, I'm still connected to Wi-Fi, you can still actually make it bleep. How on earth does that work? It shows I haven't used the iPhone for a long time. Basically, if you hit that and turn that off, that isn't actually off. That's just not connecting to, I don't know, it's just not connecting to anything when that's actually in that state. So to get Bluetooth to turn off properly, you've actually got to go into the Bluetooth settings in the old way and turn it off like that. Then it's off. And by doing that, that means the whole Bluetooth radio is off and it won't relay locations, it won't passively do stuff in the background. It's off. So if you were to turn Bluetooth off on the phone, on the iPhone, so that it can't actually sense whether the AirTag's near you, and actually turn Wi-Fi on and put it on a hotspot, bear with me guys, so that it can actually get a location from the network, then surely when the AirTag here actually kind of picks up a phone or connects to a phone, it will actually update that location. Let's test that theory out, because you can see I'm over here where that blue dot is, and the AirTag's still registered as being in the woods over there. So let's just wander around and just see if we can get it to connect to somebody's phone in one of these houses or something like that. There you go. It's just updated. So it actually has picked it up it was somewhere down here. You can see me going towards it, so it's picked up somebody's phone. Blimey, quite a way down here, and that's quite a long way away. Maybe it was a phone upstairs in a house or something like that. So if I go back to where it is, maybe it'll get another ping. Right, I'm back home now. I did actually get another sort of ping from that location. So I think because of the lack of kind of, you know, the lag of the network, like it takes a while for it to update to the servers. Obviously, to find my network takes a little bit of time for the information to process. I've now got the AirTag stuck in the window, so any passers-by, it might update it. This is really fascinating to me, this stuff, guys. I don't know if you guys feel the same. We just think I'm just overly geeking out over this. But you know what? I love this sort of thing, so I don't care. Anyway, guys, I am going to wrap this one up now because I think I've just about had enough fun with the AirTags for now. So I hope you enjoyed it and haven't gone to sleep, and I'll catch you in the next one.